degrees. First 45 minutes to an hour, you put it at 500 degrees, and then you turn it down to 325 and do the rest of the cooking. But anyway, do it upside down, and a third of the way through, then you flip the bird back over in the pan, and the entire bird gets finished at the same time. So apparently, in Europe, you can refer to Americans as pigs, but not convicted rapists. A German court gives a woman harsher punishment than convicted. I hate it when people say rapist. I'll just say unwanted sexual activity peoples for calling him a disgraceful pig. She called someone convicted of that crime a disgraceful pig and got a harsher punishment than the person who actually committed unwanted sexual activity. And so that's why people were posting that story about the German court gives women harsher punishment than convicted unwanted sexual activity.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
There's a story about this man too. He led the attack on Pearl Harbor but died a Christian missionary on December 7, 1941. Captain Mitsuo Fuchida flew the lead plane against Pearl Harbor, shouting the famous code, Tora, Tora, Tora. He hated America. But after the war, he met a former American POW, Jacob DeSager, who had returned to Japan not to punish him, but to preach the gospel. Shocked by this forgiveness, Fuchida bought a Bible and converted to Christianity in 1950. The man who started the Pacific War spent the rest of his life touring the U.S. and Japan preaching, quote, I was a follower of the sword. Now I'm a follower of the cross. Amazing. Nearly 5 years after pipe bombs were discovered outside the headquarters of the Democratic National Committee and the Republican National Committee in Washington, D.C., a suspect has been arrested in the case. On Thursday, federal agents arrested Brian Cole Jr., 30 of Woodbridge, Virginia, and he was charged with transportation of explosive devices, blah, 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 blah. But on Friday, legacy media outlets began reporting that Cole, this young black man right here, was a Trump supporter. And I'm not saying he's not because he's black. I'm just saying there's other evidence that might support the fact that he's not a Trump supporter. But we'll get to that. Quote, Brian Cole worked for a bail bonds company run by his father that worked to free illegal immigrants from ICE facilities and sued the Trump administration's Department of Homeland Security. He worked for his dad. They tried to free illegal immigrants. Interesting. Yes, I know every Trump supporter, every black Trump supporter would be quick to hire Benjamin Crump, who represented the family of Trayvon Martin, attempting to sic the Biden administration Department of Justice on a local Tennessee prosecutor who had raised concerns about the bail bond companies. We'll find out eventually that this guy had nothing to do.
Additionally, if you open this up to ice fishing, while on the surface it sounds good, then what happens next year? Does someone come back and say, I want an ice shanty on Hudson Springs Park for X amount of time? And if you then allow ice fishing with shanties, then that leads to another problem. Prostitution. And now you've got the police chief and the police department involved. Just data points to consider.
It is Happy Bill of Rights Day on December 15, 1791. The Commonwealth of Virginia ratified the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the U.S. Constitution. George Mason and James Madison were the driving forces behind these guarantees of individual rights. And note that all the individual rights that are in the Bill of Rights are not rights granted by the government. Those are the inalienable rights which the government shall not infringe. And if you notice, it's interesting because the Bill of Rights is all about what the government cannot do, not what the government can do. And I think the kind of got away from that a little bit, where some people seem to think that the government is going to grant you rights. No, these are rights you have, whether there's a government or not, and the rights that the government must protect for you. So it was a unique thing when it came about in 1791 that government is not there to grant you or give you privileges, but rather to protect the rights that you have.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only PDawgKnight.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Turn that up a little bit. Here we go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet. Welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel, where it's National Passcast Day. Yes, a holiday after my own heart. Because I love to fart. I just do. I don't know why. It's the relief. It's relieving, and it's also, what's a good word for it? Relaxational. Yes, there is. Yes, I'm not kidding. It is National Pass Gas Day, which is every day for me. I don't do it during the show because, I think it's rude to just do it, loudly and make noise. And I don't want to put on a microphone. That's for sure. Besides, we don't need to dust my microphone with that shit. But, I just laughed when I saw that this morning. And so that's the first thing I decided to mention. So, the clown show, the Democrats decided to memorialize January 6th, which I'm fine that they want to do that, but they tell a bunch of bullshit lies during it. And I just thought, we'll feature that today. What the hell? And there's a bunch of other stuff going on in the news, like always. And so there we go. So let's just go ahead and, get into it. I was just going to do something. Happy Hump. See if I could find that real quick, because it's Hump Day. It's Hump Day. What's the date today? Today's the 7th of January. Yeah, because yesterday was January 6th. By the way, for my people who like the Hump Day scrolling. Holy shit, I couldn't scroll very far today. It was, holy Moses, if you're into that, that's great. But holy smokes, I couldn't. Oh, well, those are all me. But yeah, holy cow. I could not scroll very far today on the old Hump Day theme. And some of you probably like that. So, it is what it is. Let's get into the show. Let's say hi to everybody. And we're also going to see who's helping me out here. Oh, a bunch of you are. That's good. That's good. So, first in chat today, who was that? Wait a minute. Hang on. Is that right? Make sure I did this right. See, I have to widen this to make sure it all fits. Well, I'll be darned. It's Mike Savage. Gets the bell. Congratulations, Mike. Got here first. Nice blarg. Good morning. Also, good morning, Green Badger Outdoors. Miss Wild Wolf. Midnight's in the house. Also, Kara Soldier. JB, Jay Blizza. How you doing, brother? Maddie's here. Hi, Maddie. I can only be here for a little bit. I have an editing client. Oh, well, okay. Okay, well, we gotta talk sometime, Maddie, because it's been a while. Also, good morning, Tall Person, back again. Old Guy Gamer, nice to have you here. K-Shell, hi, Kirsten, good morning. And Attack Alpaca, coming in here quick. Anna Lynn, what's up? Good morning. Blue-Eyed Scream. I said Attack Alpaca. And of course, the Pope, Tyrannus III, the Blessed Lich, bringing our daily message of hope, not from the Father, not from the Son, but from the Holy Ghost, who says, blessings of the Holy Ghost. Always keep a song in your heart and a bounce in your step. No matter what's going on, a pleasant attitude will get you through. Man, isn't that the truth? I've had to live that during the holidays this year because I've kind of told you about my holiday story. Well, I didn't tell you everything, but because if I told you everything, I'd get in trouble with Lady Boomer. But anyway, that's a great message. Sometimes your attitude is all you need to get you through the day. So there you go. Also, thanks to the people sharing the show. Of course, Miss Wild Wolf, as I'm posting and reposting or whatever, the people doing that. And also liked my post. Also, Mike Savage with the daily Let Us Go, replying to my post with a Let's Go of sorts. JB, this is from Boiling Point, a dark comedy of sorts. I don't know what he's smacking her in the head. I don't know about all that. And Maddie, let's go. My friend is streaming his show. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you for reposting the show. And then we got Miss Wild Wolf with the kitty. Miss Wild Wolf showing us that kitty with the sunglasses. Very cute. And Green Badger Outdoors with a little scene from The Patriot. Okay, that sounds good. I feel very patriotic. And then the people reposting Tyler Alexander, Green Badger Outdoors. Who's this? That's Kirsten Scholl. Oh, that's right. You got the new Abby. It kind of messes me up sometimes. Miss Wild Wolf, Man Squatch. Oops, and I didn't mean to click it because then I'm going to Man Squatch's page. And JB, of course. And then there's our daily, Ric Flair. The old man still got it with the woos. There you go. Also, good morning. Tyler F's in the house, a.k.a. Hurricane Frenzy. And that's it. So thanks, everyone, joining us today. Let's go ahead and get into what the holiday of today is. Well, first of all, obviously, it is... Oh, I didn't take the fireworks off, did I? I'll have to do that one of these days. It'll happen. It is hump day, and I can't scroll very far on the hump day because about 3 posts in, someone's showing near their butthole, but I really don't need that on my screen. Good morning, Unacceptable Views, by the way. I almost said speaking of buttholes, but that wouldn't have been right because that's not what I wouldn't have meant it the way I said it. Anyway, my other favorite Canadian, of course, P-Dawg hates Canada. Why do I hate Canada? Why? What's happening in Canada? Is there some holiday in Canada I don't know about? I, for one, cannot see you here. I don't know what that means. What's the Canada thing? I don't hate Canada. Jeez. Anyway, so this hump day post, and that's a real person. Don't hate the thigh gaps. It's a structural thing. What? It's also hump day. You know the rules. If you don't get laid, you turn into a retarded liberal at midnight. Oh shit. You gotta have a talk with Lady Boomer. Sorry, not sorry, have more sex. That's someone named Dr. Sticky saying that. I have no idea. I'd never heard that before. But then also, here we go. And then this is, AD's not even here. I think this is AI generated though, Alexa Steele. And they also got Sweet Monica here. And then the next one, someone showing their butthole. So I can't scroll any farther. That's disappointing because I don't want to see anyone's butthole right now. So anyway, then there's a happy hump day with the same AI chick here. And then a bunch of my old shows. So I think there's like a Hooters girl down here somewhere if I scroll far enough. But again, for hump day, yeah, this girl right here, she's rate this fit. I don't even think she really works for Hooters. I think she just bought the outfit and said, rate this fit. So there you go. There's your eye candy for the guys, and I'm the eye candy for the ladies. I know you agree. Thanks for being here, ladies. And come back often. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's see. Oh, the holiday today. The biggest holiday that I already mentioned. National Pass Gas Day. And lots of people pictures to hold their nose, but I'm not sure why Cecil Whitaker's Pizza.com is putting there for National Pass Gas Day. Maybe they're having a special on beans or something like that. And then, but yeah, lots of people holding their nose. It's also National Tempura Day and Harlem Globetrotters Day, but it's National Pass Gas Day, and everyone's got pictures of themselves holding their nose. So there you go. Other holidays, as I already mentioned. I'm not going to take it anymore day. Is that related? Never mind. I'm not going to say that. That's kind of weird. I don't want to talk about that. Also, National Pass Gas Day, National Bobblehead Day. Hey, I got a bobblehead right here. I have my Bob Ross bobblehead. Little tiny mini bobblehead. So, yes, just put a little color right here. And then it's also National Harlem Globetrotter Day. It's the day that the world famous Harlem Globetrotters became something back in whenever they did, and Abe Saperstein and all those guys. And then I'm a Mentor Day, National Tempura Day, so eat some crunchy fish or shrimp or something. And then Orthodox Christmas Day, because something like that. All right, so there's the holidays for today. What was that? Some Bob Ross was the best of us. Yes, absolutely. You know what's funny? Or not funny, weird, strange, interesting, notable. Bob Ross is very well known even among the youngsters today. It's just so funny. I was at work and one of the young guys was talking or was there, and I had my Bob Ross Christmas shirt. Have a happy little Christmas. And he's like, "Oh, you got a Bob Ross shirt." I'm like, "How do you even know who the fuck Bob Ross is?" But apparently they kept showing him on PBS even long after his death, because I think he died in like 1990. Siri, when did Bob Ross pass away? Bob Ross died in 1995 and probably hadn't made a new show since like 1980 or 1990. And everyone knows who Bob Ross is. It's amazing. So I don't know why because I got my Bob Ross bobblehead that my son gave me. My son used to give me Bob Ross stuff every Christmas, so I got a whole bunch of Bob Ross paraphernalia, calendars, and I got a tin of mints. I got a Bob Ross energy drink, which seems like an oxymoron. I mean, what's a Bob Ross energy drink going to do? It's going to put you to sleep? How does that work? Anyway. Or will it just calm your nerves? It's like taking a giant drink of melatonin extract or some shit, if there's ever such a thing. So anyway, his show is my husband's favorite. Even my kids watch his shows. Yeah, I'm there you go. Oh, I'm check my notification. I should see your post now. Well, let's find out there, midnight, because I'm telling you. Okay, let's see here. Oh my God! Look at that. There's Midnight on there, replying to Midnight Queen. Wait, you're replying to yourself? Wait a minute, what the hell? What are you replying to? Oh, was this yesterday? No, this is today. Okay, there you go. All right, so there you go. And I'm even, there you go. There's doing a let's go or something like that, or posting the show. Thank you, Midnight. I'll even repost Midnight here. Can I get in trouble for that? Like, oh, I can't repost it. There's something wrong. Oh, I'm not allowed to Oh, is it because you're a minor? You can't repost things done by minor? I don't know. Anyway, thank you, Midnight. I appreciate it. I don't know why it doesn't show up in my main. Oh, there it is. There. Okay, never mind. All right, so there you go. Finally. Bob Ross paint set, LOL. Oh, I also got, by the way, this little Bob Ross bobblehead that I have here, it came with a thing where he's painting. So you put it like this together, and he's painting the scene, and you can put a different scene. I don't know why I have this on my desk. It's been on my desk probably since my son gave it to me. So there you go. There's Bob Ross painting a scene. Isn't that kind of cool? I mean, I also have a minion on my desk. I've probably never shown you my desk. Well, because it's just a mess back here. I also got a minion too. Oh, why does it do that? There we go. There's a minion that I can't remember who gave me that. I think that was a gift from one of my nephews a long time ago. Anyway, so I got my Bob Ross bobblehead and him painting some stuff. It is being weird. She has to tag you in order for you to see it, even when she does a reply. That's interesting. I don't know. Did you give me I don't know. It's okay. We'll figure it out one of these days. All right. And I gave you all the other holidays. All right, let's move on. Let's get into, and celebrity birthday today. We have a celebrity birthday. I haven't done one for a while. Today's celebrity birthday is none other than the second lady, Usha Vance. And JD Vance put a nice little happy birthday to my darling Usha, who turns 40 today. Usha Vance is only 40 years old. And then the White House says happy birthday to our amazing second lady, Usha, and lots of other people saying, happy birthday to her. So there you go. Happy birthday, Usha Vance. What? Poor Usha? What does that mean? Oh, good God. They're still fucking with the stupid couch thing with JD Vance, which they know it's a lie. They know it's made up, but people still talk about him doing something with the couch. That didn't happen. That's some stupid shit. But it did make a Twitter featured story here. JD celebrates his wife Usha's 40th birthday with a heartfelt post. Born to Indian immigrants in San Diego, Usha Vance graduated from Yale and Cambridge, clerked for the Supreme Court Justices Roberts and Kavanaugh, and now serves as the first second lady of Indian descent, practicing Hindu. Wait a minute. As the first second lady of Indian descent and practicing Hindu. Well, that is an awkward sentence. Vance posted widespread praise from the White House, Fox News, Senator Marsha Blackburn, and many supporters, though a few posted racist remarks about her heritage or false marital rumors. What? Wait a minute. Let me see if I can find some, because there's some negative people out there. Tone Tech, you're back. I had to change the music because I don't use that music service anymore, and I got a copyright content. So now, thank you, Avocados Diabli, first sponsor of the day. And that makes you, of course,
you are
the new Streamlove Star sponsor of the day. Avocados Diabli says, just got back from the hematologist oncologist. Oh boy, purely precautionary. Though they took a shitload of blood, though. Have you seen the shit going on in Berlin? Terrorists take out the power grid and government evacuates migrants and everyone else is on their own. I kind of saw a blurb about that. We'll look it up in a minute here. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. And good morning, Avocados Diabli. The new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor there. And Tone Tech's back. Tone Tech. Still got that caps lock on. I don't care. You just do what you... I'll try not to die here. Hang on. There. All better. You took the tone. They took the caps lock off. All right, cool. All right, welcome back. Nice to have you back. Troll as you will. All right, here we go. So anyway, let me see if the negative stuff about Usha though. This is fascinating because she's really not in the limelight at all, other than when events where they both got to be there. You're going blind over here. What? You get a little excited about Usha there? You're just stroking it because you see Usha. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of because I am not that hot, Tone Tech. I'm sorry. Okay. And I'm not saying you are a troll, but you were kind of trolling last time you were here. It was fun though. I enjoy it. Okay. So anyway, happy birthday. I'm seeing that. Oh my gosh. I know my man's eating curry tonight. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Damn, that's crazy. Okay, let's see what else. Happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. Happy 40th birthday. That's nice. Okay. Will you go to the birthday party or do you still only respect your wife when voters aren't watching? What are you talking about? I don't know why these people think that he doesn't respect his wife. He clearly loves his wife. Greetings, Heritage Americans. Please wish my Indian wife a happy birthday. No one gives a shit that I don't care that she's Indian. She just seems to be a nice lady. Come on. And under no circumstances should anybody vote for this thing to be first lady. What? They did a little, what do you call it? When they do the AI make her look older shit on there. Hope you got her a real man for her birthday. Oh, aren't you cute? Okay, so some people are not, are haters and shit. Why would you be a hater on someone's birthday? Someone has done nothing to you. God Dawg. Moving on, let's talk about Democrats and their 5th January 6th anniversary commemoration. So one of the big things trending right now is Democrats and Trump marked 5th January 6th anniversary a little bit differently. Yes, they did. Senate Democrats, led by Chuck the smarmy prick from New York Schumer and Hakeem Turnip Jeffries, held a vigil honoring law enforcement and victims, calling the 2021 events an attempted coup incited by Trump. Okay, y'all, no one attempts a coup without firearms. Okay, just doesn't happen. Didn't happen. It was a riot that caused by a bunch of flashbangs of rubber bullets going in the crowd, and they got a little pissed. Although the dickheads who were breaking the windows that the Capitol Police didn't do anything about, those idiots were dummy. But of course, that one dude, Jonathan, what was his name? Jonathan, what the fuck's that kid's name? The little Antifa fucker from Portland that was kind of leading the people breaking windows and shit. And he was one of the first ones in the building. A coup is military. Well, generally a coup is military. Although, I would say the French Revolution was a coup too, in a sense, but that was all people. Whatever. It wasn't a coup. That wasn't even why they were there. Anyway, the White House countered with a dedicated page blaming Nancy Pelosi for security failures, citing rejected National Guard offers and a Republican report on FBI involvement, while celebrating Trump's January 2025 pardons of nearly 1,600 defendants. The clashing remembrance highlight America's divided views with no unified commemoration amid remembrances of injuries to the over 140 officers and death, including rioter Ashli Babbit. Well, what do you mean deaths? There were 2 deaths. Ashli Babbit and Rosalind Boyland, who nobody seems to remember for some reason. But anyway, so the White House posted Nancy Pelosi getting asked about
Why did you refuse the National Guard on January 6th?
Shut up. I did not refuse the National Guard. The president didn't send it. Why are you coming here with Republican talking points as if you're as...
Well, there's a letter,
Wait a minute. I take responsibility for not having them. Damn!
Okay, that's cute. That's cute. Anyway, and then, of course, the biggest victim on January 6th was, of course, AOC.
Was just going to be killed. I thought other things were going to happen to me as well.
Oh, my God.
So what sounds like what you're telling me right now is that you didn't only think that you were going to die, you thought you were going to be raped.
Yeah. I thought I was.
She wasn't even there.
I didn't.
She was in the office building. She wasn't there. Oh my God. She that was an interview after January 6th. Hilarious. And then this thing right here. This is Democrats holding a vigil. This is the Senate Democrats put this up here. I gotta find I gotta find the speeches they did. Thank you, Avocados Diablo. Another small pull in the tip jar. You're still the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor today with a total of $4.46 total, and you also have the largest donation of the day at $2.23. Best part of this was even for their own broadcast of it cut off the citing after like the first few words. Also, I noticed Schumer at least referred to the cops who died as connected to January 6th and not because of it. Baby steps, I guess. Yeah, because there's a couple people who are saying that they died that day. The officers were killed that day. A bunch of officers killed that day. It didn't happen. No officers died as part of January 6th, but many were injured. And look, the dickheads who were fighting those guys deserved whatever jail time they got. Even if their rights to a fair and speedy trial wasn't all that hot, and that's maybe why they got pardoned. Anyway, here's a clip that Senate Democrats put up of them having a moment of silence for all who died on January 6th. Which, look, I gotta give them some credit, because them having a moment of silence for Ashli Babbit, Rosanne Boyland, that's pretty big of them to do that, because they're the only people. Well, then someone like died away from the crowd there. Some guy had a heart attack, but that had nothing to do with it either. So yeah, them having a moment of silence for Ashli Babbit and Rosanne Boyland, I'm I'm dumbfounded. I am dumbfounded. So there you go. Anyway, so Penny Johnson breaking the White House has published a page revealing the full true story of January 6th before, during, and after. It includes video and evidence showing Nancy Pelosi's involvement, a complete detailed timeline of events, a tribute to those who died on or because of January 6th. Full investigation into Nancy Pelosi and everyone involved is now essential. I haven't seen this. I'll put the page up, but we're not going to go through it too much because, oh my goodness. Is that the J6 committee? Holy gosh. President Trump took decisive action to pardon January 6 defendants who were unfairly targeted, overcharged, and used as political examples. They were not protected by the leaders who failed them. They were punished to cover incompetence. On the first day back in office, January 2025, President Trump issued sweeping blanket pardons and commutations for nearly 1,600 patriotic Americans prosecuted for their presence at the Capitol. Many mere trespassers or peaceful protesters treated as insurrectionists by a weaponized Biden DOJ. He fully pardoned most, commuted sentences, and ordered immediate release of those still in prison, ending years of harsh solitary confinement, denied due process, and family separation for exercising their First Amendment rights. And then if you scroll, I'm going to leave this up here. I'm going to check this out later, but I'm not going to go through it now. But yeah, by the way, please do not retweet Nancy Pelosi admitting full responsibility for not calling the National Guard on January 5th, 5 years ago today. Would be a shame if it went viral. So this is the clip that a lot of people say Nancy Pelosi took responsibility. You know, is that what she said here? Or granted, now if they offered, I know Miriam Bowser was offered 10,000 National Guard to supplement the Capitol Police. I'm not sure if Pelosi ever got that letter. Hello, Special Can Asset. All right, here's the clip they keep putting, though, saying that she admitted that she failed.
We have responsibility, Terry. We did not have any accountability for what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous.
Interesting.
You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing when they've already breached the inaugural stuff that should we call the Capitol Police? I mean, the National Guard? Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
Whoa! Now, I don't think I've seen this clip. Why wasn't the National Guard there to begin with? There is evidence that Trump offered that. There is evidence that Trump offered. I've never seen this clip. Have you all seen this clip before? I did not. I've never seen this one. Listen to what she says here.
Inaugural stuff that should we call the Capitol Police? I mean, the National Guard? Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
Muriel. Now, it's Muriel. It wasn't sort of Nancy Pelosi said they didn't want him, but it was Muriel Bowser in particular who said, no, Capitol Police we don't want them. Because I think what they were worried about, I think they truly thought there was going to be some kind of military coup if the National Guard were there. I think and so they said, no, we don't want it. It's from the documentary that Nancy's daughter was there. Yeah, no, I know what it's from. I just haven't seen that particular line. I've heard her say something about taking responsibility, but I've never heard the line where she said, why weren't the National Guard there in the first place? I've never seen that part. Thank you, Avocados Diabli. Another small bullet in tip jar. Still the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor today says, yes, I've seen this clip. And did you notice she said breach the inaugural stuff? Does she think January 6th was the inauguration? No. But they were at the point where they were going to do the inauguration, because remember, they had set up a secondary rally after the place at the Ellipse where Trump made his speech, and then they had a second site set up that they were going to go to, right? And it was set up on the other side of the Capitol. But because the Ray Epps crowd that breached those barriers, breached those, when the people came over from the Ellipse, they flooded through that area that went up to where they were setting up for the inauguration. And so those steps that they were on and the pictures of the flashbang, the place where they were fighting with the police, that's where they normally did the inauguration. And so that's why she probably said that wrong, because that's where they were flooding instead of the area that they had reserved on the other side of the Capitol. That's my guess why she kind of flubbed that up. But still, yeah, that's interesting. So let me see what else she says here.
They thought that they had sufficient resources. There's not a question of how they had, they don't know. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for more.
Ooh, now I heard the second line. I didn't hear the National Guard line. So that's fascinating. That's fascinating. I guess maybe I've heard it, but it just not that clearly though. Why weren't the National Guard already there? Well, because Muriel Bowser and sort of Nancy Pelosi said, we don't need them. Huh. Kamala Harris, 5 years ago, an armed mob. Really, Kamala? I'm sorry, Chameleon Harris. Really, Kamala, Chameleon? An armed mob stormed the United States Capitol? No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They were milling around, and notice she puts the picture with the smoke here, as if the smoke was caused by the people who were there chanting. It wasn't. That was caused by the flashbangs that the police deployed into the crowd who was being peaceful at the time. And they also started shooting rubber bullets into the crowd that was being peaceful at the time. And that's why the crowd probably got agitated and started fighting. And also the police officers along the line that were hitting them with batons. Do you think they're going to just stand there and take getting hit by batons? Holy shit. What a complete and utter pile of bullshit. An armed mob stormed the United States Capitol, inspired by lies and hatred spewed by Donald Trump. What hatred? He was disputing the election. They used brutal violence and intimidation in an attempt to overturn a free and fair election. And since returning to office, Trump pardoned the insurrectionists who betrayed the country. January 6, 2021 showed us how fragile our democracy. Really? How fragile? They left after a couple hours. They just hung around, milled around, and then they left. Didn't even have to get kicked out. They basically, police said, okay, guys, time to go. And they're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, it's kind of boring here. Let's get out of here. I mean, if they were really trying to overturn have a coup, why did they leave? Must not have been a very good plan. Holy shit. How January 6th showed us how fragile our democracy is. We the people must fight back against Donald Trump and his cronies as they sow chaos and fear among the American people. We cannot stand idly by as they strip our fundamental freedoms, enrich themselves on the back of working people, and destroy our reputation around the globe. And we must continue to do the hard work to ensure our democracy survives. You know she didn't write this shit. Oh, no, let me say she didn't say this shit. She might have wrote it, but she didn't say it because it wouldn't be this coherent. Let me be clear. Her favorite fucking line. She stole that from Obama. Certifying the presidential election of January 6, 2021 was one of the most challenging moments of my career. Really? I thought it was not letting those prisoners out because you needed someone to make more shit for the companies that you were hiring them out to in California. That seemed a little more challenging. Ignoring a court order to release them, ignoring evidence that could have released them and had them slave labor instead. I thought that would have been way more challenging than this. All you had to do is sit in the quiet room for a couple hours and then come back and sign some documents and shit, or raise your hand and vote, or whatever the hell it took. Holy shit. Hello, Anon 123. Oh my God. The fucking melodrama of this shit. January 6th is crazy because we all watched it live and they're still gaslighting about whether it happened. Nobody is gaslighting about what happened, but some people are certainly gaslighting about the extent of the damage. You keep lying about, police officers died. One of a stroke later, and then some others, suicides and other things 6 months later. Dumb fucks. Oh my God. And there's Hillary Clinton showing, and you know, it's funny because I remember the first time I heard the word insurrection from Anderson Cooper. Like I'm watching this all happen live. And I just happened to have, I guess it was CNN was on one of my little squares. And Anderson Cooper used the word insurrection. And I thought, what? And I'm like, it hit me right then there. Oh my God. They're going to call this an insurrection. And so now all these papers, the headlines of the papers, insurrection, democracy attacked, pro-Trump mob invades the Capitol. They were ready for all. This shit is so fucking, talk about gaslighting. This is U.S. Senator Mark Wayne Mullen hiding from Trump's violent thugs on January 6th and being protected by law enforcement. He later supported the pardons of violent insurrectionists who murdered police. What police were murdered? What police were murdered? What police were murdered? Thank you, Avocado Stiabli, by another small bullet tip jar. Hardest part of her career? I would have thought that would have been swallowing Willie's load. Oh my God! Oh, snap! Yeah. Okay. I actually read that out loud, didn't I? Shit. Okay. Anyway, what police officer was murdered? Lion Ho. What is this? On behalf of the group Congress, this plaque honors the extraordinary individuals who bravely protected and defended this symbol of democracy on January 6, 2021. Their heroism will never be forgotten. Their heroism, there really wasn't a whole lot of heroism. They did their job. But, look, were the Capitol Police that were escorting the dude with the horns around the Capitol, were they heroes? Taking him from door to door, letting him look in the rooms, seeing if doors were locked. Were they heroes too? Were the officers that were in the rotunda taking selfies with protesters, were they heroes? Just answer me that. And, please, the melodrama. But this is just a flat out lie. Insurrectionists who murdered police? No police died on January 6th, liar. No police died on January 6th, so it wasn't that scary of a day. And a hypocrite, as are the rest of the MAGA tourists. What? Trump pardoned January 6th thugs who terrorized Congress, including the ones who forced Mullen to cower under his desk, proves he'll always choose a violent mob over and democracy. Hey, this is the dude that always just he makes posts and then just summarizes them. Why can't I reply to this? Author has blocked you. Oh, shit, this motherfucker blocked me. Oh, because he knows what I caught him in the act. I see him all the time on different lefties posts, right? And all he does is he'll take a popular left-wing post, and in the comments, he will do like an AI summary of the post as his own post. So it just rewords it and posts it. And this guy's gotten how many followers do you have now? It doesn't even it won't even show me. Profile summary. Will let me see a profile summary? It will not. So okay, here it is. Let's read this just profile summary of it. It's going on X here. Because all he does is summarize posts, and he's got thousands of followers for it. It's hilarious. And I've said to him one time, it's kind of funny how you just repost other people's tweets in different words all the time. And but the problem is, I want to know if he. Let's see here, Richard Angwin. maintains a progressive voice on X, blending sharp political commentary with drumming hobbies, amassing over 200,000 followers through critiques of Republican policies and support for Democratic figures. His content often amplifies themes like environmental conservatism, January 6 accountability, and opposition to Trump's foreign policy moves on Venezuela and Greenland, drawing high engagement via memes and timely replies. As a political jumper, he fosters discussions on social justice and diversity, occasionally revealing the humorous side in original posts that here, Grok. The truth is, what's his name? Angwin. Summarizes every high-profile lefties posts for clout. There, let's see what Grok says about that. Let's see if I even get let's see what Grok comes up with that. Why are you having, because it's funny sometimes. You're not entirely wrong. Richard Eglin's feed is heavily dominated by replies to high-profile progressive Democrats. Yeah, I already know that. Okay, I'm done with that. That's silly. All right, so back to what I was doing here. This shit's hilarious. And look, they're all on their propaganda machine today. All the Democrats were on their propaganda machine. And the vigil they had last night was comical. Democrats had a vigil last night. Here, let's see what this one is. This is on ABC News, showing them having their vigil. They're carrying their little they're carrying little battery-powered fake candles. Hello, Selected Boy.
Yeah, boy.
All right. Anyway, let's move on. What do I got here? I'll leave the White House. Oh shit, is that thing still going? Shut up! I don't want to hear you, motherfuckers. All right. Let's move on. Oh, and then January 6th is trending. By the way, again, AOC, clearly the most damaged person in Congress. On January 6th, she was feared of being, whatever. Now, just to FYI, that's the FY of Nancy Kerrigan, not AOC. but yeah, her claiming that she was nearly sexually assaulted and killed by rabid Trump protesters inside the Capitol on January 6th. All of this despite the fact that she wasn't even in the building. She was in the congressional office building at the time. Democrats going to their candlelight vigil. This is my favorite meme of the day. Democrats going to their candlelight vigil. I would go through some of the speeches, but I haven't seen any. Maybe we'll do some of those tomorrow because now I'm really curious. Also, the one officer, Michael Fanone. He's the one that had the heart attack apparently during this while he was down there. And someone was posting a picture of him in his hospital bed saying that they beat him and drag him down. Here it is right here. On January 6th, men dragged this officer down the Capitol steps. They tased him and beat him until he was unconscious. This officer suffered a heart attack and a traumatic brain injury. Trump pardoned these 6 men. Okay? So that's Michael Fanone. That was the picture they put of him in the hospital. And he's made a cottage industry of being Michael Fanone, the January 6th officer who suffered some trauma. And look, the fuckers beat him up. They did some jail time, and then Trump commuted their sentences because they had him in solitary confinement all the time, right? So here's his body cam footage from that day, though, after his heart attack. Hang on a second. Let me minimize this for a second. The post says, I'm a J6er. John Cameron. Michael Fanone is a liar, a thug, and a paid crisis actor supported by Nancy Pelosi to create January 6th. Here's his body cam 10 minutes after his heart attack, laughing about the Americans he beat. He was stopped from shooting American patriots by the crowd. God bless the J6ers. Video credit Ben Caxton. So here, this is his body cam footage right after.
You get kicked or? Oh yeah. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna check for any fractures. Don't if it hurts anyone, I'm pressing.
Now, I'm not sure what we're supposed to be seeing here, so I guess we'll just listen. Someone checking him out after this fact. I just want to hear the part where he says he's...
I'm feeling fractures. Look at my finger here.
You say I am feeling fractured or not?
I'm feeling fractures.
Okay.
Look at my finger here.
So he did have some fractures, and we know that he got hurt. And there's no, I'm not even disputing that. I'm curious though, if he had a heart attack, but apparently he recovered from it because he's sitting here right after his heart attack. Why did they examine him on site? I mean, you'd think they'd be rushing him to the hospital even before that, but anyway.
Right line in your eyes. Look at my nose here.
I just want to hear what comes out of his mouth.
Yes, sir.
Go on, mate.
What's up?
I'm gonna go. They got an Indian job down inside.
You want me to go?
No, I'm gonna take care of them, man.
All right.
There doesn't even be a whole lot of chaos where they are now. I wonder how far away they took him.
No obvious.
Because you notice you can't hear any other noise, too. You'd think you'd hear noise from the crowd. There'd be rioting, yelling, screaming, whatever.
Severe injuries.
Whoa, whoa, what was that? Whoa, 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 no.
No obvious severe injuries. Can't find any fractures. Pupils are equal. Open mouth. All right. Dizzy at all? You stay here and rest.
He said no.
So you're feeling better.
Not dizzy?
Need some water to wash out the CS?
No, it's fine now. It's my fault.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead, Jimmy. I'm out here on the south, right where we walked in. Yeah, walk south towards the big armored personnel carrier, the green one. All right.
Stay there and make sure you're okay. I can't find anything obvious.
And I don't know what...
Thanks.
Okay, whatever they said he said wasn't in this video, so I don't know. He said he's laughing at the Americans he beat. I didn't hear that at all, so I don't know what they're trying to say there. But anyway, there's a whole bunch of January 6th stuff still from yesterday. Let's get through some other topics here. The Capitol's trending also. By the way, a bunch of J6ers also went to the Capitol yesterday. For example, this guy said his country sent him to prison for a year for peacefully exercising First Amendment rights 5 years ago. Today, peacefully returned to the Capitol. There must be some accountability for the weaponization of government against J6ers. Because a lot of the J6ers were just, they got trespassing charges, but they had them in jail for over a year. Some put them in solitary confinement. They pressured people to sign confessions and shit, and so they wouldn't have to go to prison. Also, by the way, Capitol Officer Michael Byrd, the one who shot Ashli Babbit. Now, I am not confirming this is true or not, but this is the report that you're hearing. Reportedly has a taxpayer-funded daycare in his home run by his wife in Maryland. This is Bird's family daycare. Now I can't. That doesn't mean that she's committing fraud. Because I had a home daycare too. It doesn't mean I was committing fraud. So it doesn't mean anything. A lot of people are talking about that, but I don't think that means anything. I think the fact he shot an unarmed person that normally a year earlier, or at least during the year prior to January 6th, would have caused riots in the streets for whatever. So someone here says, very alarming. A leftist who recently claimed he was going to do it, a coded reference to assassinating President Trump, is now showing his followers who asked if he was serious that he is standing in front of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. The comments under his video from many private accounts encouraging the ending of Trump, with one even checking the president's schedule. Yeah, that's not cool. But yeah, here's AOC. I was almost a participant in unwanted sexual activity violently towards myself. You know what that means. On January 6th, and then this shows you where the rioters were here in this building, and AOC is in this building. They were all over here, and she was here. They were here, she was here. So she wasn't anywhere near that shit. All right, let me skip past through here. Oh, and Ashli Babbitt's trending. Again, the Democrats at their vigil had a moment of silence for all the people who died on January 6th. All the, which were Ashli Babbitt and Rosanne Boyland. Now, interesting here how it's summarized by AI on Brave. Rosanne Boyland, a 34-year-old woman from Kennesaw, Georgia, died during the January 6th. Again, they keep calling it an attack on the Capitol. And that's how it's summarized, because that's how most of the papers summarize it. On the U.S. Capitol. Initially, her death was reported as possible resulting from being trampled into crushed or from a medical emergency. However, the D.C. Medical Examiner's Office later determined that she died from an accidental acute amphetamine intoxication, not from physical trauma. Boyland had been a fervent supporter of President Donald Trump and had become deeply involved in QAnon. Oh, did she now? That's new. So they're saying that she died from amphetamines, except there's video of her being beaten by a baton by one of the officers. So, you know, that's all questionable. You know, did they document her injuries when they said that she died of an accidental acute amphetamine whatever? I don't know. That's crazy. All right. And then Pelosi's trending too. We'll skip past some of these. Rand Paul's trending because, well, two things. One, he voted some War Powers Act thing that contradicts what Donald Trump's doing in Venezuela, because he said, I'm voting yes on the War Powers resolution because I oppose unnecessary wars and always have. The Constitution requires Congress to authorize the initiation of war precisely to prevent one person from dragging us into a conflict. The vote is about restraint, accountability, and keeping America out of another disastrous war. I don't blame him for voting the way he's voting, and I was inclined to agree with that, but it's, you know, it's a little more complicated than I know, but I don't know all the details. But also, he mentioned that, let's see, about the January 6th people. Here, let's just play this one. If you can stand Maria Bartiromo's voice.
You released new details about your investigation into the federal government's weaponized watch listing. Documents obtained by the FBI show the Biden administration improperly placed the wife of a federal air marshal on a terrorist watch list based on unverified information. Tell us more and how wide this net has gone in terms of the Democrats spying on their political enemies.
This was an appalling abuse of power and should be universally condemned. And the reason we have to keep talking about this is we need to make sure this never happens in our government again.
True.
You had a congressional committee that was run amok. You had an administration that was run amok. You had an administration that was taking money and paying universities like George Washington University to scour through data and go out and arrest people. This particular woman was put on a watch list, the Quiet Squad's watch list, where she was harassed every time she got on a plane. Her house was surveilled, you know, just an elaborate surveillance operation. But she was put on this watch list because of a tip from a nosy, angry neighbor who didn't like her. It turns out what the neighbor said is, oh, I saw a picture of her. She was at the rally. Well, she was at the rally at the White House, but she was never at the Capitol. They knew this in the first couple of weeks. We've determined that they knew her geolocation, they knew by facial recognition, and they knew by every other source they had she was not in the Capitol ever. She would never set foot on the Capitol grounds, and yet for 2 years she was on this Quiet Skies program where the TSA harassed her everywhere she went. They knew her husband was a lead official.
Tone Tech, you don't really know me, do you? Oh, yeah. No, Tone Tech. Me. My father is a tribal chief in Nigeria. And so from that, in that culture, I'm considered a prince. So, yeah. That's true story. We'll show it to you sometime. Not really, LOL, but love you. No, it's true. I'll like I said, all you have to here, look up here. I'll let you look it up. What do you look up? I can't remember what I use here. Let's try. Marty Prince. Marty Prince, Nigeria. Oh, maybe if I put let's find the GQ. Oh, GQ, I have to add 2. There we go. There it is. This is GQ magazine from what year was this? That's me right there in the middle. See that guy right there in the middle? And this is an article in GQ magazine about me from May 17th, 2005 called The Fresh Prince. And that's my me with my brothers and sisters. And the whole article is about me if you want to look it up. So there you go. You can find it. Marty Prince GQ Marty Prince GQ Nigeria. And you'll find the article. I'll leave it in the links today for those who haven't seen it before. All right, let's scroll through here a little bit longer. We're done with Rand Paul. A whole lot of Venezuela stuff, which I really do. There's so much stuff. There's so much stuff to do. Okay, there's so much stuff to do that I have no time to get to. And so they're still talking about the raid. Here's what's has me interested in this topic, because one, I don't like the way we did it, but I'm not sad that Maduro's gone. And I'm finding that a lot of, Streamlabs. Thank you, Avocado Diablo, another bullet tip jar, who says, apparently no one told AOC that gang unwanted sexual violation, start with R, is a form of democracy, and by not submitting to it, she is destroying our democracy. Yes! That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Holy shit. Okay. Holy shit. Here's the thing. There's protests all over the United States, right? Leftists protesting, saying they want Maduro returned to Venezuela. And there's also, I guess there's some protests in Venezuela that they want Maduro back, but there's also a lot of cheering and celebrating by Venezuelans all over the world. And so it's a really mixed bag of who's happy and who's sad about it. One of the sentiments I see a lot of people who are from Venezuela, though, are echoed by someone, Mike Netter. I'm going to say this once, and I don't care if it makes people uncomfortable. If you have never lived in Venezuela, you did not grow up there, you did not watch your country collapse in real time, you did not stand in food lines, if you did not watch your parents lose everything they built, if you did not have to leave your home with nothing, then shut the fuck up. You do not have an opinion. Your opinion does not matter. You don't get to lecture anyone about what's happening there. I'm Venezuelan. I lived there most of my life until my early 20s. I watched my country go from a functioning democracy to a full-blown socialism right in front of my eyes. This is not politics to me. This is trauma. Before socialism, Venezuela was not perfect, but it worked. There was trade, there was money coming in, there was investment from the U.S., there were jobs, there was food, there was medicine. My family had 5 businesses. We had a home. We had investments. We had a future. Then the government started nationalizing everything. Private companies were taken, foreign investors were pushed out, imports were blocked, price controls destroyed production, corruption exploded, and everything died. Not slowly, violently. People didn't suddenly become poor because of capitalism or the U.S. or whatever bullshit slogan people like to repeat online. They became poor because socialism destroyed incentives, destroyed production, destroyed trust, and destroyed hope. People today in Venezuela are not debating ideology. They are trying to survive. They are trying to find food. They're trying to find medication. They're trying to keep their families alive. So when I see people in the West posting from comfortable homes, full fridges, stable currencies, and safe streets talking about imperialism or U.S. bad or Trump this and that, no, it's not complicated. You're just ignorant. China is not rebuilding Venezuela. Russia is not rebuilding Venezuela. Cartels are not rebuilding Venezuela. They are stealing. They are extracting. They are draining what's left. If the U.S. comes in and reinvests and refiners get built, if infrastructure gets restored, if imports open back up, if food, water, and medicine become accessible again, if people can work and earn with dignity, then yes, let them take all the fucking oil they want. He didn't say fucking, but he might as well have. Because at least something gets built instead of destroyed. This is something to celebrate. Not because it's perfect, but because it's for the first time in a long time, there is hope. Hope that families can eat. Hope that people don't have to flee their country. Hope that Venezuela can function again. If you've never lived through a country collapsing, if you've never watched the socialism destroy everything around you, if you've never had to leave your home because staying meant starvation, then again, shut the fuck up. This isn't theory. This isn't politics. This is lived experience. And somebody named Steven Saburo wrote that. God damn. God damn. And good luck, New York City. I'll just add that for him. So, and it's funny too, John Fetterman with the win. Less than a year ago, President Biden upped the Maduro bounty to $25 million. Removing Maduro was a positive for Venezuela. As a Democrat, I don't understand why we can't acknowledge a good development for Venezuelans and how deft our military's execution of that plan was. Spot on there, Johnny boy. So anyway, that's a whole section on Venezuela. We also got a section on, what was this? Oh. Apparently in Ohio, there's some citizen journalist found a how do I say this? Well, it's called the Somali Education Resource Center in Dublin, Ohio. And apparently they've gained about $45 million in funding from the government to reimburse meals for 48 affiliate daycares through the federal programs that faced payment suspensions in June 2025 after meal claim discrepancies. Governor DeWine stresses Ohio verifies attendance strictly with pins and photos, unlike Minnesota's scandal, while urging tips to officials amid owner harassment claims and ongoing probes. So anyway, it's in Ohio too. Fucking A. Also today, Trump's Greenland. I haven't followed the Greenland thing. Apparently he has a plan for Greenland, and I'm not sure that Denmark is happy about it. So both Greenland and Denmark are trending. Again, I'm not following that one close enough to comment on it. It sounds silly to me. NATO's trending, probably because, let's see, something having to do with, does it have to do with Ukraine? Well, here, Kennedy says, until crazy that Ukraine could have made a much better peace deal if we had let them do it a couple weeks after the war started, when Russia was ready to fall back to pre-invasion lines in exchange for Ukraine not joining NATO. We pressured Zelensky, who originally ran on a peace platform, to reject the offer. Now Ukraine stands to lose more territory after hundreds of billions of dollars and tens of thousands of unnecessary lost lives. Thanks, Tony Blinken. Yeah. Why they didn't negotiate that from right then and there, who knows? Breaking, Denmark says a U.S. attack on Greenland would mean the end of NATO. What attack? What are you going to attack in Greenland anyway? There's barely any people there. What do you... I don't know. I'll try to get myself caught up on that. I'm not into it. Hilton Hotels is trending. Apparently, they have cut ties with the Hampton Inn in Lakeville, Minnesota, over the ice room refusal. Hampton Inn in Lakeville, Minnesota, run by Everpeak Hospitality partners Parmeet Singh, Aranpreet Hundal, and Karandeep Naga, and Mohinderjeet Kaur denied rooms to over 2,000 ICE agents and Border Patrol agents using government bookings early this month. Independent journalist Nick Sorter confirmed the policy by posing as a DHS rep, sparking Hilton to remove the property from its systems and the General Services Administration to bar it from federal lodging. Hilton stressed it's welcoming standards for all, while the incident fuels divides over immigration enforcement. So that hotel that refused ICE agents is no longer in the Hilton circle, and that could be a problem for a franchisee. My guess is that's all smoke and mirrors, though, that they're just saying, oh, we're cutting ties, whatever. Dan Bongino's trending because he's leaving the FBI, and now he's apparently says he's declaring war on black pillars and grifters trying to hijack MAGA. Interesting. I'm not following that story too closely either, but some MAGA people are mad at Dan because he didn't get much done at the FBI, and he's going back to his podcast. But Dan Bongino's, let's see, Dan Bongino's, the only reason people are so black-pilled is because of you and your buddies. You could have handled this so much better, but instead you attacked the very people that put all their faith in you while you did nothing, and you said nothing, and you said nothing, and nothing you said needed to be done. Fuck you, dude. Oh, Lord. That's Shipwreck. She's an interesting character, by the way. If you ever want to follow someone on either X or TikTok or Instagram, Shipwreck is a very interesting character. The Shipwreck Show. Let's see. Oh, and then he's got a January 5th post and January 6th post that's getting a lot of traction. Dan Bongino is very popular on the right, although now there's some discrepancy about how popular he is. Thank you, Avocados Diablo. Another small bullet in the tip jar, single-handedly keeping my show alive today. Says, by the way, my comment at the end of the show was simply that I am willing to bet if it came down to it, there are a plethora of judges out there that would extend the Third Amendment to cover their unwillingness to give rooms to federal agents. Oh, okay. The no quartering of soldiers comment. Thank you, Avocados Diablo. Appreciate it. I got you. Yeah, they can't force themselves out there, but having a government contract and schedule rooms, it's like, what do you mean you're not going to let them use the rooms that they already paying for? Governments, look, if there's one entity that is pretty good about paying you for shit, it's the government, because they'll pay you if you don't do anything. They'll pay if you don't do anything. Ask those Somali daycare operators. Okay, let's see here. I have a few articles left, but I pretty much only have time for headlines, but let's do that. Now, we already got the Hilton removed Minneapolis hotel from system after banning DHS agents. We just talked about that. Day of the caller. Tim Walz resigning. By the way, he did a press conference yesterday that I was going to do today, but I couldn't find it, so I'll find it, and maybe we'll see how good it is, and then we'll talk about it tomorrow. But kind of like I said, Tim Walz stepping down means there are a couple other 3 or 4 more shoes about to drop about him. You don't just give up at out of the blue. And I'm going to guess that it's going to be the next shoe to drop is going to be how much these businesses that are primarily Somali run, except for one of the ringleaders, how much money they have been giving to government. To political campaigns. Also, there's another story that just came out. I don't think I have it highlighted, where one of the agencies, while they were being inspected or investigated by the Inspector General, began supplying false evidence, aka backdating some things, and And for some reason, the Inspector General didn't say anything about it. So talk about corruption, you know, because remember, there's people saying out there, well, they went and inspected all those daycares and they said they were operating as expected. I don't believe any of the agencies at all. I think half the people in the agencies are in on the deal, or they're getting bribes from the people who have a tendency to bribe people, because that's how it works where they're from. I think a lot of these people who are out there inspecting were getting bribes. That's probably the next shoe to drop. And somehow a lot of this money ended up in campaign coffers of prominent Democrats in the state. That's why none of our congressional delegation of Democrats have said a word about this on X, or haven't made any public speeches or not. Someone in the DFL, which in Minnesota is the Democratic Farmer Labor Party, which is our Democrats, someone in the DFL says, if someone here mentions it, you shut the fuck up. You have no comment, because they haven't said boo about this. And now we're talking about Amy Klobuchar coming and running for governor. Well, here's an article in Legal Insurrection. Will Democrat Senator Amy Klobuchar run for Minnesota governor? She wants to run for president, though. But supposedly Amy Klobuchar wants to fill Walz's seat. New York, so do a lot of guys at the never mind. Hello, Alan Thyler, what's up? New York Times reported that Walz and Klobuchar met on Sunday. These sources claim that Walz informed her of his plans, and she confirmed her interest in running to succeed him. Now, wouldn't that be interesting? She runs for governor, wins, and then appoints Walz to her Senate seat. Think about that. Think about that. Anyway, Walz made his announcement on Monday, citing alleged massive Somali fraud in a statement while making excuses and claiming Republicans stand in the way of making changes. And we watched that in depth yesterday. Let me see if it goes down here any farther about Klobuchar. I don't care about all the other stuff. We just went through all that. Someone says that, so what about Klobuchar? Well, Klobuchar is well known even outside of Minnesota. She served 4 terms in the Senate, winning her elections by at least 16 percentage points. I think it's kind of a no-brainer for Democrats for her to step into space. And I think that all but assures them victory coming up. And that's a political aid to the Walz Flanagan campaign. So anyway, if she runs in Minnesota, the only thing that would stop her would be somehow being caught up in that scandal. Maybe that's why she has taken the Dave Chappelle presidential comedy skit advice and shut the fuck up. Or is that Chris Rock? Well, somebody, whoever says shut the fuck up, she's taking that advice. But I can't wait to see where these political donations start to hit the airwaves, because I think that's the next thing that's going to happen. All right, and then other articles. Speaking of which, ringleader of $250 million Minnesota welfare fraud scandal ordered by judge to forfeit her Porsche and luxury goods that she's been buying her for her boyfriend. Amy Bach is starting to have to give up some of the spoils of her labor. So good, fuck that bitch. Oh, yeah, you know what I mean. FTB, FTG. Also, the feds have, so the Somali ambassador to the United Nations, apparently he's been linked, and it's official now, that he's been linked to Medicaid fraud in the state of Ohio. It might be the first time we have an ambassador to the UN who might have to be deported. Just FYI. All right, let's see. And then finally, other ones I have up here. 6 Ways to Improve Schools. Pretty good article in American Greatness. You can read that one yourself. New York Post. The mother of Zoran Mandami's aide, who said owning a home fuels white supremacy. Apparently mom owns a $1.6 million home in Tennessee. Amy, what's her name? Amy, or no, not Amy. What was her name? Celia Applegate, whose daughter, Sia Weaver, is the director of Mondani's office to protect tenants. who's the one talking about how they might have to take away people's private property and shit. Her mom has a $1.6 million home in Nashville. Now, in Nashville right now, $1.6 million, buys you more than you can get in California, but not as much as you can get here in Minnesota. But it's got a big-ass house in Nashville that she owns, and her daughter thinks that, that owning home is white supremacy. Irony! Thank you, Alan Tyler News, Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day.
Streamlabs
dropping a 20
sponsor
spot
of
in the tip
day.
jar. Thank you, sir. And the message is the message is Dog. Yeah, what's up, Dog? I thank you. Thank you very much. Very generous of you, sir. I appreciate it. All right, and then the other article, I only have a couple other articles popped up. One is Ricky Gervais refuses to apologize for his viral jokes about transgender people. Okay. It's an interesting article. That's about it, though. All right, guys, I got to go because, I have to go about this time every day. So let me drop some links. I'll leave the GQ article in there for anyone who's interested. It's an old story, but it's a good story. It's a tearjerker. And I'm very happy to have found my family in Nigeria. And for those who don't know, I was adopted as a kid. So here we go. Here's the links from today. Let me share this real quick, and then we're going to get the hell out of Dodge. I'll be back tomorrow. It'll be FTG Thursday, and I might just look, if you have FTGs for me to have for tomorrow, drop me a whatever you call it, a DM or something, if you have some special FTGs you'd like me to mention tomorrow. But there's the links to the show for the show today. Hope you all have a great afternoon. I gotta go. My name is PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Get funky now.
Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.